What's up, guys? Welcome to another Straight Edge Wrestling podcast prediction series. This week is the Royal Rumble week, so Royal Rumble 2019, always my favourite pay-per-view of the year. On the pre-show, you have the Cruiserweight Championship match and the United States Championship match. They're on the pre-show.
Rusev ends up on the pre-show.
An awful lot.
Yeah, it's because of Lana.
Yeah. Well, this has been I've got nothing to say about Rusev. I used to love Rusev. I've just got nothing to say about him at the moment. So I actually wrote on my prediction sheet here, Rusev for Shinsuke, who cares? That was actually what I wrote. I put Rusev, but who cares? But
The Japanese.
Just the whole of the Japanese. So, well, we'll start there. We'll start with Rusev and Shinsuke. So you've got Shinsuke, I've got Rusev.
I've got Rusev.
Oh, you got Rusev? Oh, I thought you were talking about just...
Why am I going to pick... He just kicks people in nuts these days.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've got the same. I've got Rusev. Shinsuke hasn't really done anything
Since he lost it?
I think he didn't really do anything when he had it, to be fair.
That's because no one cares about the United States title anymore.
Yeah, basically.
Since Jason was making it relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a dead thing since like Cena, AJ. But
the thing is that there ain't much really going on within the championship either, really, because they're just throwing it around.
Yeah. I mean, they're not really doing anything.
If I'm honest, most of the titles on Raw make no point anyway, because Universal Championship is never there until Finn Balor was it.
We also have the Cruiserweight Championship match, Fatal 4-Way, Buddy Murphy versus Tozawa versus Kalisto versus Hideo Itami. I'll be honest, I forgot Hideo Itami even existed anymore. I just because he was on and off with injury for quite some time. But no, because
you've got something against the Japanese.
You're the one that just said the Japanese. No, because he was on and off.
You said no one was going to watch that one.
He was on and off with injury for quite a while, and then he came back, and then disappeared almost immediately again.
Yeah,
and most of the
205 Live.
Yeah, but most of the cruiserweights, you see them on Raw and SmackDown and stuff, or you see them on the pay-per-views, but you haven't really seen Hideo in a while. It's Buddy Murphy. Yeah. So then we have the actual main show. We have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We have The Bar versus the best tag team in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. I forgot his name for a second there.
How the hell do you
I forgot the
Shane
name
McMahon's
of the best wrestler in the world. I know.
Co-best wrestler in the world.
The co-best wrestler in the world. Who you got?
Oh, it's got to be the best tag team in the world, right?
Yeah. I mean,
they're going to go far.
Yeah. I was saying to you a little while ago that I assume they're going to be building to Shane versus The Miz at Mania. I assume it. Maybe not.
It,
but
they're the best team in the world together.
Yeah.
Apart, they're just co.
Yeah, they just co. I don't know. I think either that or they will be a tag team which follows right the way through and has like some kind of key match at Mania. But I don't really. It's just a bit bizarre. But
until WWE go crazy and Shane's having an affair with Maurice.
We then have the SmackDown Women's Championship. We have Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Who you got?
I'd love to say Becky, but it's going to be Asuka.
Yeah. I don't know
until
how.
They shock us and Becky Lynch wins it.
The thing is, if Becky wins it, I don't know where they go from there. And that, to me, that means that what is Ronda is Ronda losing, or were they doing a winner takes all at Mania? It's just a bit.
I could see a winner take all. That would make it fucking awesome.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think we've spoken about that before, about it being a winner takes all, which would be a great idea. I don't think they would do it because they want to keep the title splits, but I've got Asuka. My hope is that it will be a Ronda screw job leading to something else in the evening, which we'll discuss. But that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they'll feed Ronda into this match somehow, even if it's before the match as well. Let you know her and Becky getting into it backstage, and the match maybe never happening. Something. I think there's going to be some kind of shenanigans in the match. But I've got Asuka. We then have the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks.
What a one who can't keep her pants up.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be Ronda, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it's got to be Ronda. They had her lose a match though this week on Raw. Ronda, they've had her win or not lose, I should say. consistently since WrestleMania, a complete undefeated streak, and then they just had her lose in a tag team match against Sasha and Bayley this week on Raw, and no one mentioned it. It's just it's not been addressed, and you think they clearly forgot. They just clearly forgot that that they had this streak going, and that they just let it end. It's just bizarre.
WWE, how do you screw yourself?
It's just bizarre. Like, that was something which they could have used. Like, Becky could have used that, but no, whatever. We then have the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. Who you got?
I'd like to say AJ, but we know it's going to be Daniel.
It's got to be Daniel, isn't it? Like, they're not going to put it back on AJ this quickly.
It's going to be Daniel VR Truth.
Stop. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to take it back off of Bryan this quickly, and Bryan's quite like red hot at the moment.
Yep, pissing everyone off.
Yeah, the Chase Field, who's hosting Royal Rumble this Sunday, they tweeted out a picture of a burger that they're selling at the Rumble called like the Rumble Burger. It's like this massive catastrophe of a burger. I'll put a picture up here. Just like a huge cluster of a burger, basically, and then they tweeted out and they just said, "I wonder what Daniel Bryan thinks about this." And he replied this huge essay to them, basically calling them awful human beings for killing animals and putting it in a bun and giving people high cholesterol and all this.
Sounds good.
And then I want it. I want the picture looked great. It looked like just death in a bun, and it looked great. So we then have the main event of the undercard, I would say, Brock v Finn.
It's got to be Superman Finn Balor, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, if this Monday night was anything to go by, he would have to win it. He beat the crap out of Brock and Braun before Brock laid him out. But like, he beat the crap out of both of them, and then obviously Brock laid him out. So it's like, what are they doing? I don't understand. Like I said to you a little while ago, we had weeks and weeks and weeks of him being laid out by Baron.
What's the bet at the end of it? He loses this match, knocks out the poor R-Truth, who should win it and go to Raw, and then wins the Royal Rumble.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. But like,
I do.
But that means
I just want to watch him right now be Brock.
Yeah, but I said that means he's going to go up against Brock again. And I don't really care for that again. I think this match is going to be a really good match. I think it's probably going to be the match of the event because Brock works really well with the small guys. Yeah. Well, I heard someone pitch the other day. What if Finn Balor the Man goes up against Brock and loses that, and Finn Balor the Demon enters the Rumble and wins the Rumble? That would be a great idea. But I've heard that it takes him like 3 hours to put the makeup on.
So unless they put show.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they put that on at the beginning and then put. I would love that. I would pop huge for that. That would be great. So then we've got the Women's Royal Rumble. We have, I think, 23 women confirmed. 23, 24 women confirmed at the moment. Who you got?
I ain't got a clue if I'm honest.
No, I don't really have a clue. But I've got who I hope and who I think they might go to. I think they're going to go with Charlotte.
I'd rather see Carmella if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'd rather. I'm not really interested in seeing Charlotte win it, but I think they may go with Charlotte. I hope they have Becky. I hope Becky loses against Asuka, somehow finds her way into the Rumble, and wins the Rumble. I feel as though that's kind of like a predictable way in some respects. Like I've heard a lot of people say it, but give the people what they want. You know, that's basically it. Like just one night a year, give them what they want, let them do it. I think the crowd would pop huge for her winning, and then calling Ronda out. I think it would be the best finish that they could possibly do. But Charlotte, oh my god, I've just had the thing. What if they do like a Batista Cena finish with like Becky and Charlotte, and then that's how they get to their triple threat match that's been rumoured?
Well, no, if you do that, then
they restart it. Yeah. Well, no, I mean because that could be how they do it. They could just be like, hey, well,
I want to see a triple threat match.
No, neither do I. But that's like what they've been hinting at. And then we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. So, who you got?
What did you think?
I think Seth. I think it's Seth's year.
That's our truth year.
Don't.
Is it number 30?
Yeah, it may be number 30. We can fuck off.
It'd be a great match against Daniel Bryan.
No, I'd like to see R-Truth go against Brock. He wins that and then he goes against Brock.
What's the bet that he end up beating Brock?
Could you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Could you imagine? He's the one to dethrone Brock.
Little Jimmy came out and screwed Brock.
You know, Taker couldn't do it, Cena couldn't do it, but R-Truth, he came in, squashed Brock like that.
Brock hasn't been the same since Roman being.
But I think it's Seth's year. I would love for it to be Drew, because I want Drew v Brock at Mania. That for me sells.
I want R-Truth, Daniel Bryan.
I think the last three we're going to come down to are Seth, Drew, and Braun.
R-Truth.
And if Braun's in the match, I mean, he's not been announced at the moment, but if he is in the match, then I think maybe Braun. I don't really know. It's all up in the air. But
yeah, probably get suspended before then.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Is like if they're going to do like a Vince McMahon thing of no, you're not going into the Rumble or whatever. But
we just did another limo win.
Yeah. They. I think it's quite an interesting one. I think last year it wasn't predictable because no one really got Shinsuke, but everyone sort of was of one mind. Whilst this year it's like, I don't think they've built anyone up to it. That's the problem.
Truth.
Yeah, or not. Anyway, that is our Royal Rumble predictions show for 2019. Head over to straightedgewrestling.com for all the latest breaking news, reviews, predictions, and more. We've got some Road to WrestleMania 2K19 videos coming out, as well as our Fantasy WrestleMania 35 card. Head on over to Twitter at SEW_podcast, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff's down below. And we'll see you next time. We're out.